Aloha, my name is Malia Augustin. I serve as the chair of the Nānākuli-Māʻili Neighborhood Board, number 36, and I'm calling this meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, November 18th, 7 p.m., and we're meeting in person at the Nānākuli Public Library and virtually via WebEx. A neighborhood board meeting is a monthly forum between government representatives, elected officials, and members of the community. Members of the public have the right to submit testimony on any and all agenda items. We have a full agenda tonight, so to keep our items moving, I will go over some rules of speaking. If anyone wishes to speak, I'll ask that in-person attendees line up at the microphone. Those joining us on WebEx, please raise your virtual hand. When recognized by the chair, state your name clearly for the minutes. Comments must be kept under 2 minutes, officials' monthly reports under 3 minutes, and presenters under 10 minutes. Sergeant at Arms will be keeping time, so please end your comments when the timer goes off. I will also ask that you conclude your comments. If you speak out of turn or with misconduct, you will be removed from the meeting. I would like to remind everyone that this is a community forum, so we welcome all comments, concerns, questions, and even opinions. Be free to share your mana'o on our agenda items, and remember to treat others with respect and engage in the spirit of aloha. I'd like to ask at the end of the meeting, thank you everyone for helping to clean up. Please do not touch any belongings on the tables here, as the board members will put away their belongings. We'll start with a pule from board member Tector.
Okay, bow your heads. Dear Lord, we thank you for this time. Thank you for those that are in attendance, those that's on their way, and we ask for a peaceful and kind meeting, and that we may respect each other's time and each other as a person. In your name, Jesus, we ask, amen.
Amen. So at this time, I'd like to ask everyone to stand. We will have a moment of silence for Uncle Black Ho'ohuli, who was formerly a member of the Nānākuli-Māʻili Neighborhood Board. Additionally, we recognize the recent tragic deaths of young constituents, Tea, Kamakea, and Corey, and recent family members of our board members. Please rise for a moment of silence as we take this time to honor their lives. Thank you. You may be seated. We're going to start off with the neighborhood board roll call for attendance.
Alrighty, board members, when I call your name, please use the microphone, just for the record. Board member Ayo,
Present.
board member Tector,
Here.
board member Cowles, member Dela Cruz,
Present.
member Myers,
Here.
member Simpson, not online or in person, she's absent. Board member Manoa,
Here.
board member Hano,
Here.
and Chair Augustin.
Present. Thank you. Moving on to city emergency and first responder monthly reports, we have the Honolulu Fire Department.
Good evening. I'm Firefighter 1, Lilianoy Wilhelm.
Please speak into the mic. Thank you.
This is good. Sorry, first time. The statistics provided below represent confirmed number of incidents in the NHB's geographical area for the previous month. For more details on the incidents and related mapping information, please visit the fire response search tool on our HFD website under the news and info tab. Should you have questions, please email hfdnhb@honolulu.gov. For statistics for October 2025, we've had 4 structure fires, 2 brush fires, 12 nuisance, 1 cooking, 1 activated alarm with no fire, 129 medicals, 1 motor vehicle collision with pedestrian, 10 motor vehicle crashes, no mountain rescues, no ocean rescues, no hazardous material incidents. Nuisance fires include rubbish fires outside a structure or vehicle. Some fire safety tips and announcements. Food has a unique way of bringing family and friends together, especially during the holidays, and cooking can be a relaxing activity. However, it is important to be aware that cooking fires are the leading cause of home fires and home injuries. By following the few safety tips, you can prevent these dangerous situations. Stay alert while cooking. If you're sleepy or have consumed alcohol, avoid using the stove or stovetop. Always stay in the kitchen while cooking. Never leave the stove and heated appliances unattended. Use a timer to remind yourself to check on your food regularly. Keep combustible items like oven mitts, wooden utensils, food packaging, and towels away from your stovetop. And keep children and pets at least 3 feet away from cooking areas. Any questions?
Thank you so much for your report. Any questions from the community for fire department present tonight? Any questions from the board?
I have one.
Board Member Tector.
When there's an accident, and family members are involved, which, first responders, the police, ambulance, is it your duty or police duty to conceal names, whoever got injured? Or because, for example, my niece that got hit here, it was already on the website before the news got a hold of it. What is protocol that we share, don't share? The person that hit them, are they protected? I'm not sure, sure what the protocol is, or is that for police?
Okay, good evening. Captain Gerald Pacheco, Engine 28, 3rd Platoon. I can only speak on our policy. Other agencies might have something different. We follow the HIPAA law. Basically, there's very, very little that we can share with the public. So as far as names, that's guarantee a no. Well, for obvious reasons, we unfortunately were at both bad accidents here, that one and the e-bike one. So, I mean, all we can do is hope that everybody uses caution out there. So as a side note, something personal for me, the e-bike crash. I know they made a big deal about, I guess, the driver of the bike not wearing a helmet because he's a very safety conscious individual. And the news said that they weren't sure if he had his helmet on. If anybody can get a message to the family, I was there. He had his helmet on. Thank you. Anything else?
We're going to continue with the board and follow up after. Board Member Manoa.
This is just a comment of appreciation. I'm a school teacher, and during the month of October is when the fire safety guide comes out for the students. So I'm not sure who to send appreciation to, but mahalo for that. And I did notice that in the booklet this year, the Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization had pieces in there too. So mahalo for continuing to do that, because it is a conscious way that even children can get their family, ohana, their parents, everyone in their home to be safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will reopen up to community. Please approach the mic and state your name.
Aloha Maikako, Pikachu Shelby Billionaire. So I just want to ask the captain these questions. Thank you for coming out for everyone behind us. Now, recently on the city council, there was a bill or resolution I helped support, and that's for Thanksgiving. The city council approved $18,000 for Thanksgiving dinner for the fire department, I believe. Are you guys going to get your fair share? Because I believe it was approved for the resolution. So Captain, since you're here, I want to make sure the West Side gets that Thanksgiving $18,000 that I put testimony on, that you guys get your fair share. So please follow up. Thank you very much. You deserve it.
Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you. We really appreciate that. Fortunately, we'll be on duty Thanksgiving, so we're looking at all the people that'll be eating it. So we appreciate your efforts and recognition. You know, just trying to do our part in the community, and just ask that you folks do what you can to make our jobs easier, and we'll do what we can to make your lives easier.
Thank you so much for heeding the call and responding to all of these emergencies, especially during the holidays. If there's any other messages you'd like to share with the community before closing.
No, that's it. Just everybody have a safe holiday season. Let's just pray that we can keep down the accidents and fires, and just enjoy it this time.
Thank you
you.
so much. Appreciate you coming in person. Thank you. Next on our agenda, we have Honolulu Police Department.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members,
Pagan
members of the
online.
community. I'm
Yes.
Corporal Pagan with Honolulu Police Department, District 8 Community Precinct. I have your stats for October. In October, we had 15 motor vehicle thefts, 1 in our area, 14 burglaries, 2 in our area, 87 thefts, 15 in our area, 10 authorized entries into a motor vehicle, none in our area. There was a total of 1,521 citations issued, 8,167 calls for service, and 1,410 in our area. The only thing that I did want to respond to was the question about releasing of names at an accident scene. HPD does not release the names of those involved, especially if there's a death. They normally wait for the medical examiner or the detective to do that. However, with social media, HPD has no control over what people post on social media. And if someone knows who the person was and they post it on there, there's nothing HPD can do about it. So, yeah, so that's all I got. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
Thank you. Any questions from the community for HPD? Seeing none, any questions from the board? Board Member Myers, Board Member Cowles.
Corporal Pagan, was there any incidents that we need to be concerned of or be aware of that happened during the Uliava cleanup that HPD had to deal with or confront during the Uliava cleanup last week?
The only instance that we had was people returning back to the property after the park was closed. As far as the cleanup itself and the notifications, everything went pretty smooth. Everybody was given more than 4 months notice regarding the cleanup that was going to happen. We were there to help assist store property. We had outreach out there. Again, no one accepted services from our outreach. I guess some people that were out there actually went with some members of the community. But other than that, there was no issues that I'm aware of.
Thank you. Board Member Cowles.
Corporal Pagan, I just wanted to ask, did they catch the guy that they're chasing on the moped in Miley Beach Park?
Yes, he was caught. They caught him.
Thank you. Any further questions from the board for HPD? Oh, Ayo. Board Member Ayo.
It's not a question, it's a thanks and congratulations. Today, taking note and observing, I believe that was a traffic car, might have been traffic, might have been patrol. I just want you to see if you can get a hold of that police officer because he was doing a mighty fine job giving out citations to cars going over 50 miles an hour right at the Colina off ramp. And I think we all know you're only supposed to be doing 45. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
People going 50 and 55 when you come around that turn. So HPD is going to give you a ticket. It's to slow you down because of the accidents we've already had. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. But if you can, Corporal Pagan, see if you can find that police officer. He's doing a mighty fine job.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you. Thank you, Corporal Pagan, for you and your HPD team for helping to assist with sign waving during this month's tragic accident for Taya, and many members were present. This is in a school zone, and your presence with HPD and support for the community, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Thank you so much. Thank you for serving during the holidays. Be safe. Next up in person, we have Honolulu Ocean Safety Department, Kelly Croney.
Thank you again for having us here, the board. I'll give you the stats first. I'm sorry, I was trying to go paperless, so I'm not killing trees. The stats for Nānākuli, sorry, wait a second. Technical difficulty for a second. Ka'i Point, we had an attendance of little under 15,000. We had 3,000 preventive actions, 180 minor first aids, and we had a total of 10 rescues there the month of October. Nānākuli Beach Park, we had 24,500 attendance. We had 3,306 preventive actions, 145 minor first aids, and we had 2 rescues there. Depots, we had an attendance of 7,695. Preventive actions, we had 450. Minor first aids, we had 100. And we had a public contact of 880 people. Maʻili Beach Park, we had an attendance of a little under 30,000. We had 2,895 preventive actions, 150 minor first aids, and 5 rescues there. For the 911 calls, Ocean Safety had a total of 25 for the whole leeward coast. We did have a double drowning at Keavalua Beach Park. I'll get back to that in a couple of minutes. Pokai Bay, sorry, we had a cervical spine injury there. Green Lanterns break wall, somebody got knocked off the rocks there and got cut up and had to get transported. We did have 3 multiple shark sightings at Ka'i Point again. And we also had, we towed in 6 people on a floaty outside of Colina. They didn't need any medical treatment, and we towed in 2 boats outside of Waianae Harbor. And we've had about 6 monk seal sightings along the coastline. We're currently working, I don't have a time frame, with the Lions Club of Honolulu, and they want to put throw rings like they have in a lot of the outer islands. They'll be installed at, we're trying to get like remote locations, also locations when we're not there. And I think it's going to be island wide. And we do have our new commission. And if you guys are interested, on December 4th will be the hearing. I didn't make the cut, so I'm not going to be there. So other than that, we're getting ready for winter, and we just have a hiring right now. So any questions? Or
Thank you so much for your report. It's a lot of people you guys are working with. Any questions from the community for ocean safety? Seeing none, any questions from the board for ocean safety? Board Member Myers.
Just really fast. Has anybody told you above your neck you look like Santa Claus?
I can tell. Sorry, I was in Alaska
You
for a
can
month.
actually represent at the mayor's little parade in Kapolei, you know.
I might do.
I'm nominating you. I'm nominating you, just letting you know. Come with your surfboard. I just wanted to compliment you.
Thank you.
Mahalo.
Okay, any further questions from the board?
Thank you again, guys, for having us here.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda, we have military official monthly reports, Army representative. The previous representative, Teachy.
That's right. Hey, good evening, team. Major Adam Teachy here on behalf of U.S. Army Garrison Hawaii. Got a couple announcements for you all. First of all, thank you for your continued support as we wrapped up our annual exercise. JPMRC, we appreciate your patience and understanding. While we do recognize that the increased noise and activity is not always the best. Upcoming job fair, U.S. Army Garrison Hawaii is holding its final 2 hiring fairs of the year. The first one being on November 24th, and the last one being on December 8th at the Helomano Military Reservation, starting at 8:30 and ending at 2 in the afternoon. This is open to the public. There are opportunities in the business operations for our MWR, such as the golf, bowling, food service, along with our child youth service development. Next announcement is the Waikiki Holiday Parade will take place on Friday, November 28th at 6:30 p.m. The parade commemorates Pearl Harbor by honoring the survivors and the veterans in memory of the attacks on December 7th of 1941. Local Hawaiian bands, marching bands from the mainland will march down Kalakaua Avenue in Waikiki. And then lastly, the Pearl Harbor Memorial Parade will take place on December 7th at 4 p.m. To 8 p.m. And the parade will begin at Fort Tarusi and at the Kapalina Park in Waikiki. Those are my announcements for you all this month, subject to your questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the community for Army? Seeing none. Any questions from the board for Army? Okay, seeing none. Thank you so much for your report. And we appreciate all the work that you folks do. And for those who are overseas during the holidays, we just wish them well. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. See you next month.
Next up, we have Navy Representative Jewel Felipe online. Okay, we can't hear you if you're online. Okay, we'll give her some time to check back in, Jules, and table this item. Next up, we have our presentation, Waianae Coast Emergency Access Roads Resolution with Transportation Committee Chair Jermaine Myers.
Oh, hello, is it working? Hello?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
We
Sorry.
can hear you. We can hear you.
It's
Please
been
go
such
ahead.
a while since I've logged in, but I'm back, everyone. Apologies. Yeah, I'm not able to share my video. It was even not even letting me to unmute, so I'll just have to do with this for now. So as you guys know, with the government shutdown, I wasn't able to attend, but since the shutdown ended last week, Wednesday, I do want to touch base on the question that was asked by Board Member Myers. And the short answer is the bunkers are not associated with the Navy. They actually were originally associated with the U.S. Army. The bunkers were built along the Waianae Coast as part of its coastal defense system, with Brown's Camp serving as one of the defensive sites. Today, depending on their location, these bunkers are either managed by City and County of Honolulu or the state of Hawaii. And then the next slide, please. All right, so during the shutdown, there was actually a bulk cleanup along Lualualei Naval Road. So uniformed service members from Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam spent several days within that week clearing bulky items as well as picking up litter along the road. So this is an ongoing effort. Joint Base Commander Captain Samuel White did say this is not a one-shot thing, that we're working to do this continuously throughout the year. And those are the only updates I have. And again, thank you guys so much for being patient. It's so good to be back and, all those things, to have you guys all here.
Thank you so much, Jules. We appreciate you coming back.
I know.
Opening back up. So Any questions from for the Navy from community? No, seeing none. Any questions for Navy from the board? Okay. Thank you so much for the update on the bunkers. We'll follow up with the Army and City and County. Appreciate you.
Mahalo.
Okay, moving on to presentations, the Waianae Coast Emergency Access Roads, WCEAR resolution with Board Member Meyer.
Thank you, Chair. So first of all, I want to just disclose that this is a very difficult issue that's going on because there's multiple city organizations that control when it's open and when it's not, the Waianae Coast Emergency Access Road. So first and foremost, for those of you who don't know, so I don't have a resolution for us to adopt because I got a last minute response from the Deputy Director of the Department of Transportation Service on Monday, the Secretary. So I'll read it, but what it basically says is that we need to go to the table with with the Department of Emergency Management and the Honolulu Police Department. So I'm going to try to see if our committee can get a meeting directly with those two agencies, city agencies, because they determine when the roads open. So I just wanted to make it clear to the community what the issue is. So in 2008, our community and our leaders at that time had determined that we need a workaround from Farrington Highway. So if you're coming out of the Waianae Coast, we need to get off of Farrington Highway in order to work around traffic. And many of you understand when there's an incident, and I got a report last night at 11:30, all 4 lanes on Farrington Highway between Helelua and Lualule Naval Road was completely shut down due to our car accident at 11:30 last night. And so they created these 4 roads. Easiest way to understand it is called the Waianae Coast Emergency Access Road. There's 2 in Maʻili and there's 2 in Nānākuli. So the 2 in Maʻili is to help to get the population from sea country. So if anybody had to, from Maʻili, Waianae, they can cut through sea country and end up on Hakima Road. Then we just opened up Pa'akea permanently, so you can get from Hakima Road to Lualole Naval Road. Once you get on Lualole Naval Road, the next access road is from Lualole behind Sack and Save to Helelua. And then you got to come back on Farrington Highway from Helelua. And of course, many of us know to round about anything between Haleakala and Nānākuli Ave is you go up Haleakala and you come down Nānākuli Ave. Now, what that does is if they open up the bridge, because that's the last access road, is you went up Nānākuli Ave, Haleakala, you go down Nānākuli Ave, and you can go into the park and cross over the bridge. So that's another workaround. What the city fails to understand is that we want to move a lot of people, or we want people to get to their homes. And this is how the thing was envisioned. So for example, we don't know where everybody works. We don't know where everybody's starting point and ending point is. But all we know is that if we've got a 9,000 population in Nānākuli Homestead. So imagine if they're coming from Waianae, if they didn't have to go to town, they get off into their homestead, that's it. They don't have to go back on Farrington Highway or vice versa. So if they're coming from town and they opened up the bridge, 9,000 people can cross the bridge and go up into the homestead, and they would not be congesting Farrington Highway in that area. Then Sea Country has 3,800 residents. Maʻili has 12,200. So imagine if those people could work around by going through the Sea Country if the gate was open, and Pa'akea, now that the gate is permanently open. Those people can work around either way. So if I live in Sea Country, if I could do all the emergency access road and stay off of Farrington Highway because all 4 was open, I can land in my home without even touching Farrington Highway once I went over the bridge, up Nānākuli Ave, etc. So that is the whole point of those access roads. And Helelua, I can't find anything on a population, but we all know how many units are in there. So I'm anticipating at least 4,000 people, maybe, half of Nānākuli Homestead. But everybody, if you land in Helelua, you're no longer on the road, right? Either way. So the problem is, number one, who's going to make the call that that traffic accident warrants somebody from HPD going over there and opening the gate? That's what the blockage is right now. The road is there, but it's like, who's got the keys and who's willing to go down there and open the gates? That's the only problem we're having. So in 2019, Councilmember Kim Pine, before she left office in 2020, when she wasn't elected for mayor, she created a resolution. Everything that we say between 2019 and 2025 is in that resolution. The same issues. So no sense we write a resolution, because I was just going to write a resolution repeating what she said. But the problem is that they're saying the MOU has been completed, the Memorandum of Understanding, updated, because what they're saying at the first problem was the Memorandum of Understanding was outdated. So it was only for tsunamis and hurricanes. If we had a traffic accident, they're not going to open the road. So Kim Pine said, no, when there's a traffic accident, a water main break on Farrington Highway, any type of emergency issue, right? Like an emergency responder needs to get to that issue. That's an emergency, even if it's man-made. And so the problem is to get people on board. Where's the keys and who's going to go there and open it up? So according to what the Deputy Director's office said, that the Department of Emergency Management, DEM, and the Honolulu Police Department, HPD, and the Honolulu Fire Department, HFD, these are the departments that have key access. But I got a list from the time they met in 2023 that included everybody. So I don't know why some agencies are standing off. But the whole point is, we need to meet with HPD now that they've updated the Memorandum of Understanding. We don't have a copy because it's still going through the process of getting signatures. The City Attorney General is supposed to sign off on it. Then we'll get a copy. What it says, I don't know. But there were two goals that our committee had. Number one, update the Memorandum of Understanding, which had expired on August 31st. And this is 31st or 30? 30. And the second thing was to create an execution plan. The left feet can talk to the right feet. One mouth can talk to the other ear, so that everybody is in the same sync. This means an emergency. There was a car accident. HPD, all the emergency management, the first responders is what I should say. They're talking to each other when there's an accident, right? Department of Emergency Management handles when there's a tsunami or hurricane. So it's just them getting on board. But what we were told was HPD is shorthanded. So we could either prioritize them going there and opening the gate, or them dealing with accidents or dealing with 911 calls. But that's the dilemma right now, is somebody going and opening the gate so that we can have family members get off of Farrington Highway and either get to their homes or work around in these emergency access roads that I shared with you, so that they can either get from Waianae to Nānākuli, or Nānākuli to Waianae, or Waianae to town, or town back to Waianae. And when I say Waianae, I mean all of it. Māʻili, Waianae, Makaha, Makua, everybody. I just mean everybody past Nānākuli. And so that is the dilemma. It's been a long time issue. There's a lot of emails from me asking for attention for it. Unfortunately, the city has their process, and they also have short staff. And so I'm hoping that when we can sit down with HPD, meaning our committee, because I tried to go to our council member, but it didn't work. So I'm going to try to go directly to HPD and directly to DEM and ask them, how can we get everybody on board that our community having a workaround Farrington Highway is really important for people not to have to sit in traffic for hours when there's an emergency. So that's basically what I had to share with you. Anybody has any questions?
Thank you so much for the update. Any questions from the community? Please approach the mic and state your name.
It's James. I see the point in Helelua. And the lane, you get to open up Parkia Road back there. What if there's an accident back there? How many vehicles traveling in and out of the neighborhood? One semi-truck, old people that trying to drive to get home. Gotta figure that out first. Helelua, get plenty of trees, get plenty of parked cars over there. Only get room for one car go through the lane. How you gonna have that accessibility if you're going up Helelua to take the back road? The thing is BS right there. Because you cannot, everybody gonna jam over there. There's so much kids playing in the area, the neighborhood. How you gonna access that? That's a big problem. All the trees that hanging over, we all drive cars. Nobody drive big trucks. So whatever the guys hauling to the Waianae coast or coming out, they're gonna cause an accident by falling somebody, kill somebody in a car that's going back and forth. Either way, the lanes are too small.
Can address that.
Okay.
Actually, Uncle Richard Lanford, that was the very first thing he brought up about Helelua, that it's too narrow and that there's too many cars, because on a normal basis, the road is not open. So people get into an idea of, okay, use this as parking because that's an apartment complex. So the workaround for that, our ultimate goal and our wish list is that the Department of Hawaiian Homelands would work with the city and county and the state to create a road. Nānākuli and Haleakala, they both end up at the same place at the back of the valley at Lyman Ranch. Lyman Ranch is actually a revocable permit, meaning it's a 30-day, it's not a lease that can be terminated at any time or can be modified. So what we hope is that they could go through Lyman Ranch, have a wide enough lane both ways to go through Lyman Ranch along the base of the mountain and come out the backside of Helelua, so that it wouldn't be going through Helelua apartments, but they would have a cut down into Helelua for those guys to, if they're coming from town, they can go into their apartment from back there and then connect with Lualole Naval. Because if Nānākuli homesteaders wanted to escape through Kolekole Pass or try to go through Pa'akea and everything, we have to go to Farrington Highway, right? To go to Helelua. So I hear what you're saying with that road, and we've already encountered that issue. But the city is not going to monitor that road is always, they got so much streets all over the place and so much issues with little manpower. So they're prioritizing, right? They don't know when that road is going to be open. So we have a wish list to have that another road to help Nānākuli Avenue, because if you go across the bridge and you go up Nānākuli Avenue and all of us could stay behind there, we could basically go all the way to Waianae Valley, right? You ever been in the back there? Oh, yeah. So you can basically go from Nānākuli Homestead all the way down to Plantation Road by staying in the backside. So that's our hope, is that we can connect Lualole Naval to Nānākuli Homestead. And that'll help address all of that. No, I know. I understand, because we started off with Senator Maile Shibubukuro. And unfortunately, she never see the same vision as us to use the backside. She wanted to actually go from Helelua, cut through the apartments where the playground's there, and come out through Dorfate Church. I told her, you come out Dorfate Church, you're looking at Farrington Highway. That's the yellow zone for tsunami. So we tried that. Our whole board actually tried it with a special meeting that we tried to confront her about that at Nānākuli Beach Park at the multipurpose room. But after nonstop talking, the bottom line was she didn't want to do it. Yeah, I mean, many of our issues don't work out, doesn't get resolved overnight, but don't mean that we don't want them, that we're trying to work on it, right?
Thank you.
Because there's funding and there's buy-in and there's political power and all of that
Thank you.
is involved. Thanks, Chair.
Any further questions from community on the Waianae Coast access roads? Please approach the mic and state your name.
My name is Sabrina Grace, and my mother was a board member on this board forever. She's deceased now 3 years. My question for you is, what happened to all of the money Miley was giving to do a study of the second road out of Waianae? That's where we got to get to. Cut short in all through the back. Like he said, won't cause more accidents. We need to get the second road. What happened to all the money?
There was money allocated, but it got redirected. So OMPO, the Oahu Metropolitan Planning Office, they handle all the funding. So I was on the OMPO when that monies was allocated by Shimabukuro to have a study, because before you can do roads, you got to do studies. I don't know why, but anyway, no more common sense. But the OMPO took it off. They took it off of the priority projects. So that's another issue. Chair.
Please approach the mic, state your name. Any further questions, please form a line. Thank you.
Aloha, Kalei Salcedo. The question is, do we have to have another study? That's number one. Number two is, what the hell went on? Because I am pissed. I got stuck in traffic coming here. We was at the satellite, Honolulu City Hall, testifying on issues that we facing in the community. And I got stuck in traffic. I mean, it's horrible. Last night, we coming home, we got stuck in traffic because of accident. Something needs to give, and it shouldn't be the committee give it. And standing by. Something needs to be done. And I'm talking about ASP, because gentrification is not making this area better. So we need to answer, if it needs another study, it should come out of their pocket, not the taxpayers.
I cannot answer for our political leaders, but we have new leadership. Hopefully in the next 4 years, we can have something moving on that direction, because we flip leadership, right? So let's see if that can happen.
Sir, please approach the mic. State your name.
Hello, my name is Tala. Since we in this subject about Pakia Road, access road, can we focus on what is going on in Pakia Road and finish up the road, because it's really dangerous. I'm saying this because I live there, and it's overgrown and there's a lot of rubbish, and every time we get traffic, it's gonna create a lot of accident because the road is really narrow right now. We were supposed to finish up with light and all the safety stripes and some camera there for monitoring all the dumping that is going on. And man, as we live there, a lot of time we stop and we move rubbish off the road, because people are dumping there. I think we need to focus on making that road safety first, because now is, we're using that as a second highway right now. Thank you.
Uncle, my short answer for you is we're very much aware from day one. Uncle Richard Lanford brought it up at the very next committee meeting about the dangers of back there. So my thing is, we have to ask Rep. Keela, when they went, why did the state open it when all the infrastructure wasn't in? Like, I honestly thought that when they told us that it's going to be opened in September, that everything was going to be ready to be used, right? Striping, speed bumps, because it's extending Pa'akea to make it even more longer, right? So I thought all those things. So I was just as surprised as you. We were all just as surprised as the rest of the community members. And community members have voiced exactly what you said about the danger. So I apologize for it. But I thought that before you open it up, you were going to take a look and, because you're the experts, right? DOT is the expert. So we'll go back and ask them about it. Maybe they'll have to close it before they can put it. We wanted it to get open because funding was allocated, but not to the point where it would put us in danger. Yeah, so I understand what you're saying. Mahalo.
Thank you. Any further questions from community for the Waianae Emergency Access Roads? Seeing none. Moving on to board members. Board member Cowles, Tector, and Dela Cruz.
Hi, Jermaine. I got to give you props for for doing all the legwork on that. Excuse me. I was sitting on the Waianae Neighborhood Board back in 2005. I was going over my records this morning, trying to file all my paperwork and all that kind of stuff that I got behind on, and I was going all that. And 2005, we were working on that access road. We were able to map out the access road through there, and it's always been a problem with opening up the section by Hakimo to Lulule Homestead Road. That section just got opened up. We're fighting for years to get it open. Now that they got it open, now we're fighting for get the other section open behind Second Safe. And I know it's very frustrating and a lot of frustration for a lot of the community members also. As far as Pa'akea Road it was classified back then. I don't know if it still is now, but it's classified as private road. It was back then. The company that does business over on Lulule Homestead Road, they own the road. As far as I've been on quite a few cleanups over there with Andrea. I was running front loader and everything else, picking up all the rubbish and loading up the rubbish. We haul out the rubbish, and every take 1 week later, the road is all filled up again. And that's been a big problem with Pa'akea. And the other problem is just had the recent fire, which happened to happened. My friend's house burned down. This fire started out at Pa'akea Road. But I don't know if anything can be done with the owners if it is still privately owned. I haven't been involved with that for a while, so I'm not sure if it's
Which
still private.
Pa'akea are you talking about? The one that just was open, or the one that is behind along Lulule Naval Magazine?
Well,
Which Pa'akea are you talking about?
The whole Pa'akea Road is privately owned. That part is privately owned.
So
Back then it was. I'm not sure if it still is now or not, but I believe it was classified as a private road.
It's not private. That's why we have it open. Yeah. So every road, as far as ownership, is different, including all over Māʻili. It's all private. St. John's Road is private for those who don't know, but the community gets to use it. So I guess maybe I don't understand the question. What's the point of trying to understand? Is it private or not? Because we can use it. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure where that would be going. But
I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Board member Tector.
Yes. And yes, I want to acknowledge your mom that served on the board too. We appreciate her. During those traffic times, are there police? We're shortage of police, I get it. But is there anyone directing? That's always in my mind when you're stuck in traffic to kind of speed it up. You're going to close one road. That's gridlock already. Yeah, everyone's getting home late, can't get to the children. So even though you're allowing access road, they haven't agreed, yet they agreed, but did not do the line items of what's being said from the community. So how can we help as the board to expedite missing money, money allocated, taken away, should have never? Where do we stand?
Well, on June 20th, me, myself, Uncle Richard, two of us, and Uncle Richard and Gary Shinsato, we met through virtual at Councilmember Tupolo's office. We were in the office and we had that meeting. So that was the first step to try to get answers. Okay, so I guess it's just constantly addressing each issue as it happens. Because the issues happen, community identifies that it's an issue because of public safety. And like Uncle Paul, he counts cars that come in so that he can understand the impact, right? Him and Uncle Mark, who was also on the neighborhood board, they were counting cars to understand the sinking. So if you look at Rep. Keela's email to us tonight, he told us about the sinking. Who was it that sent us an email about the sinking of the lights? So these are a lot of issues that we just got to constantly work at. But I do want it to recognize that our community has been in operation for many years, right? My grandparents came here in 1930. But I have to say, from the neighborhood board conception over 30 years ago, that we do stand on the shoulders of our Kupuna like Auntie Polly Grace, Granny Grace, and Uncle Richard Lanford, Patty Teruya, Cynthia Resentes, who stayed engaged with the neighborhood board system, your uncle, your brother, I'm calling him your uncle, Kimo Keli'i, and others. So they passed the baton to us, and right now we're just trying to work with our elected officials. And when there's turnover in the departments, like you got a new department director, that's when issues start happening as far as it slows down what you were working on. And it depends on their will and desire and how they manage their time. So that's another issue. We're dealing with human beings. Yeah.
Thank you. Board Member Dela Cruz.
I want to commend you in doing your everything that you're doing for the community and especially on this term. I wanted to bring out the person that came up in the community is Pastor Tala. And just a recognition that people in our community is coming up and speaking in that terminology to assist with you since this issues has been brought up into 2019. I know I came to your board, to one of your meeting prior before I became a board member. These issues did rise at the same time, and I see you following through of what you said in those meetings. So I wanted to bring up to the community that you need more accessible people to come in your meetings to assist as well with us. So to help you go forward on this, because we cannot go on another 5 years for somebody else from political, arena and still have the same problems because our community is growing. Majority of the people in our community are working class people.
What is your question?
That is my, it's not a question, but is possible that if the only access, you're working on access, is it possible to like extend the roads to make it a little bit more bigger? And so maybe the community can work with you on that?
Wait, when you say extending, you meaning to make it, we're talking about Waianae Coast Emergency Access Roads, right? The 4. Okay. So all the community members just talked about the different issues related to Pa'akea, related to Helelua. Nobody has come up yet about Sea Country, right? Connecting to Hakimo. And then the bridge across Nānākuli from Zablan Park over to Nānākuli Beach Park, over the canal, right? The stink pond, we call it. That bridge was created many years ago and it's unstable. So, there's things growing out of the cement. Again, it's human beings that are managing it. Department of the Facilities Maintenance is supposed to go there and trim the trees, etc. So it's a matter of a lot of different complex issues, like, again, multiple departments managing the same infrastructure becomes complicated. But now that we have it, I came before the board. I can forward you guys all the emails that I've sent, including the resolution, including these are all the accidents that happen. When is it going to get addressed? And then you guys can see what's happening. In case something happens to me, you guys can carry it forward. But again, it takes, community buy-in as well as, because Uncle, I'm going to tell you what was one of our biggest obstacles to go behind Nānākuli into Lyman. First of all, when people get ownership of, even though they're in a lease, they like dig their heels in. They don't want nobody in their backyard. So we had that first obstacle with Lyman Ranch. The second one was the people that live around that border, they don't want to see cars passing by their house anymore. So that's what I mean by community buy-in. And I had explained to them that when my grandmother on Nānākuli Avenue and corner of Lepeka and Nānākuli, she always said, okay, now the next generation coming, they need infrastructure. So they took some of her homestead lot in order to make sidewalks, in order to widen the road. So it's really about, but since you are a pastor, I'm also a Christian, and anybody that's here is Christians, please pray for these solutions. Many times we talk about them and in our human terms, but I'm really humbly asking you guys to take it to our highest power, Keokua, and ask him for us to have doors that need to be open, and doors that need to be shut. Okay? Mahalo. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your presentation and update and look forward to follow up in Transportation Committee.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. So our next presentation is going to be tabled to a future meeting. So moving on to resident and community concerns. For those of you who are present, please line up at the microphone. The presentation has been tabled to a future meeting. Thank you. Resident community concerns.
Mahalo, I'm Danny Wyatt. I'm the coordinator of the Nānākuli campus. And it's not a concern so much as a solution. On Sunday, we had the grand opening for the, what was it? Umeke La'au, which used to be at the Kapolei Hale. And before that, it was at the Honolulu Hale. It's located in our campus. And I'm inviting any of the community that want to make use of it. It's for meditation, reflection, things like that. We're open from 8 to 8, so it's for those, if people can't make it in until after work, we're open for that. If people want to, we would appreciate if groups want to use it. It can hold about 60 people if they're standing up, about 35 if they're sitting down. Go to the Waianae Moko on Instagram. There's a sign-up sheet there. And I'm really happy to say that we're hosting it along with the Waianae Kapuna Council. So please make use of that. Just contact the college and it's a place for peaceful resolution. Mahalo.
Mahalo. No questions during community concerns. Thank you.
Jeff, can you show me the clock, please? All right, timer's going. Pikachu shall be blowing up. We just came from the Hawaii Honolulu City Council to talk to Housing, Homeless, and the Parks Committee. Unfortunately, because of sunshine law, we were not able to address the issues about Hakima Road that made the news. Luckily, the person who's going to follow me is the solution. So she rescued 23 people off of Hakima Road Beach Park, that area there. Rise took about 15, but they only take teens. Carla Hauser was on the agenda and we opposed the nomination, but we could not say why. Andrew Topolo would not let me and Sabrina Gray say anything for 1 minute and our timer came up. You can see it on YouTube. That's why I came here to tell all you guys the truth with my time left. So what's going to happen next is they plan to sweep on Thanksgiving Day, Waianae Boat Harbor. When Lena Spain Suzuki and the Kapuna Council did an investigation, Twinkle's property, who passed away, God bless her soul, they can take 40 people. That leaves over 160 overflow. Sabrina Grace cannot take 160 people overflow. Where are they going to go? So Sabrina Grace is going to follow me. We're going to be solution oriented. So because of sunshine law, we've already set up their meetings for the Army because she could use some canopy tents to put people in housing temporarily. The Army officers here, the major is going to talk to the chain of command. We have, because of sunshine law, talk to the housing chair to set up on the committee meeting. Unfortunately, that's not till December. They're going to get swept on Thanksgiving. Auntie Blanche is coming to Waianae Moko Kapuna Council on Thursday with Roy from the city to see if we can put a stop to this because they have no heart if you're going to kick out all these people on Thanksgiving Day. They must have a soul. they must have compassion. Unfortunately, we could not say any of this thing today at City Council, and our councilwoman could not address this because she is a nonprofit affiliated with Twinkle's passing. James Kobayashi is still on the LLC, and the other person, Lindsay, resigned. So I recommend you guys do an audit, like Rep. Chris Moroka says, so we can figure this out. So next will be Sabrina Grace. I want to end with supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Chihu.
I watched my mom be on this neighborhood board, and this is the strongest neighborhood board in Y9 96792. The Y9 one, useless. This is a strong neighborhood board, fought for everything. Jermaine, how did you guys let them take the money for the new road? How did you let them take the money? First, they take the 35 billion that's supposed to go to the homesteads for repairs. They take the money that was allocated to start this second road.
Just address the chair for your concern. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, anyway, my concern is for the homeless. We not show our poor people away. We help them. The 23 people that I took home, 3 was drug addicts. The rest were elderly and mentally challenged. And you look at them today. This morning I told them, where the homeless people I brought home? They look so good, refreshed. They cleaning the yard. They talking about their goals. My complaint with Andrea Tupoola is, what did your R3 nonprofit do for the people? They don't even know about the R3. Yeah. And don't get mad at me because they're voicing their opinion now. Like my mother said, no grumble if you're not going to step up and say something. Yeah. You got to defend yourself. So I'm asking the neighborhood board to support. Help the Kapunas get somewhere. They're not all drug addicts. We've been doing this. I want to inherit this from my mother, which I didn't want to, but I end up doing it. We got to take care of our people. They belong to us. And even if we get outside, we're supposed to be the Aloha state, right? Where's the Aloha? No more Aloha. You need to take care of our people. Anybody can fall short, come homeless. Then you're going to really know what it's about. These people been out there too long. And it's time our community find one solution. Invest in the people. Audit the nonprofits, because I know millions came through here and it sure didn't reach the people. So I'm asking the neighborhood board chair, audit the nonprofits. Where's the money? Hold everybody accountable. If everybody took one homeless person home, boy, we get a big impact. Yeah. I took 23. Before 23, I get 53. And the 53 all working, except the vets that don't want to go to the vet center because they like smoke their marijuana. And I'm okay with that. Help them. Help us help them.
Thank you.
Aloha. Calais Saucedo. My concern is, was at the City Hall and resolution 25-298 is to reappoint Carla Hauser to the Park and Recreation and the homeless. She's been in there 2 years. Reappointing somebody that never do nothing, a correction in our parks and our homeless. 2 years. What has been done? Nothing. That's why I went there and opposed against. And then we're getting stuck in traffic and we just barely made it back. This is going to be an issue that our community has been facing for years. And I'm very disappointed because we could not say much, only address about the resolution. But we could not bring up the community concerns. And for those of you on the board, you guys know us. We have the pala showing how long we've been fighting for our community. It's not just Makaha or Waianae. It's the whole 96792. And the issue that we have, the more people is being pushed in our side, the more we have to serve. We serve our people. But the issue we have now, a lot of the people that own houses, realtors that leases the houses, because the landlords or the homeowners do not want to deal with the tenants. So they're renting them out for the tenants. The thing is, why are they going to put somebody in for $1,500 a month from a 4-bedroom or a 5-bedroom house when they can fill up those bedrooms at $800 to $900 a head to put the head down? Think about that. That's our problem in Paradise. That's why a lot of them is priced out of Paradise, because they're finding out, the homeowners who's renting their homes, finding out they get more money by renting them to an individual at $800. So you put four in a bedroom, you get 5 or 6 bedroom. You figure out the calculation. If you got 15s putting their head down in their houses, 800 times 15, where the scales? That's our problem that we're going to have, because it's non-profit organizations. Because they're not getting tracked down. That's the problem we're going to always face. But we're going to continue facing that problem, because if you get the fox guiding the hen house, that's our whole problem on the west side. It's not just our people. Our people cannot afford. You guys know, I put people in my home for free, not charging them. Not a darn dime. But the point is, we cannot find a solution if we cannot get everybody on the same table. On the same table. We cannot find a solution. We're going to be fighting up against each other thinking, that's our people. Yes, it is. But how many more people come in one-way ticket? Think about that. They come first before our own people get to put their head down. Mahalo. Kale self-set.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, we went to Honolulu Hall today to testify in opposing for resolution. What was this number? Anyway, continue. It was at 298. Reappointment. Listen to the words. Reappointment of Carla Hauser on the Parks Committee. But this committee actually is the head of all the housing, houselessness, and parks. Okay, but this resolution only covers parks, and Carla Hauser is on Parks Committee itself. Reappointment. I came to the whole council. I told them, we didn't even know that she was even appointed to this position. Where was the transparency from Andrea Tupola? We lacked the transparency. I asked for the last meeting a couple of weeks ago in this food council by Tommy Waters. I told him, Andrea Tupola on this committee, she has to recuse herself of conflict of interest because they share the same element, the 3 R's, the nonprofit organization, and Andrea Tupola, Carla Hauser, operating RISE, now entering the parks area where we have a lot of houselessness from KL's all over to Kahi Point, even to Ever Beach in the District 8. So I asked Andrea to be recused from this, to step away from this voting on this thing. Because for one thing, RISE made their way up in Noholio Road as a residential youth services empowerment. And there was, by means of a governor's emergency proclamation, I have the permits for a demolition and with the emergency proclamation on this. But the housing was supposed to be appealed to the DPP and revoked. It's under investigation. But Andrea's position on that was she's supposed to have appealed it back in June. It's already November already. Where's the appeal? Well, furthermore, that's a violation of Bill 64. RISE cannot be within 1,000 feet of another group living facility. That property is 400 feet from a nursing care home on Jade Street. 400 feet, violation of City Bill 64. So how is this being put in? So I asked Andrew, where does she stand in this for a community? It's a conflict of interest. It's a mutual agreement. It's an ethics violation for them to be joined together by the hips, and Andrew not having the appeals process. Appeals against DPP on RISE property on Noholio Road. That's a conflict right there. Not doing her job. She got to do her job to serve her community. We had a petition on Nolio Road. Okay, so who is she serving? Her community or just one element? Reappointment of Carla Hauser, Rise. So I stood in opposition of this. But again, it passed through. No, there was no voices on opposition or support. It just got through, passed through the committee. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to let everybody know that the free food bank in Miley on the back road, I guess it's what, Kalkamana Road was closed down. It was closed down because the owners had no idea that they were squatting on the property, and they had fines by the Board of Health because they weren't throwing away all of the extra food, and it was piling up, and all of the donations that they were taking were scattered all over the property. So the property's agent had hired me to help remove some of the stuff and cut the grass down, and Cats and Pat were very upset. And I told them, don't get upset at me. I'm just hired to do the job. But I was a little upset that they're running on a dog shelter there, and I think it's cruelty because the animals are not kept correctly. That's all.
Excuse me for addressing this problem, matter. Rise was placed on this committee, on this Parks Committee. Andrews had mentioned that she's not making a profit on the, as far as being a Parks Committee stuff. Nobody makes money on that. But guess what? On the houselessness, they're earning revenue on the houselessness. They're purchasing properties. So how is no revenue coming to the area? Okay, that's the conflict that we trying to voice out. And that's what I miss at the city council. Okay, but I'm voicing it out now to this council.
Thank you. We have a question online. Laura.
Aloha. It's more of a community announcement, so I hope this is the right place. I just wanted to let you guys know that there's going to be a free spay and neuter event December 13th. It's a Saturday at the parking lot of Nānākuli-Library. It's geared for low-income families, so just bring your proof and ID and your pets. Come early, bring a chair. It's a really great event. As the animals are in recovery, we'll also do their nails and whatever else we can do as well. If anybody's interested in volunteering, please come out and just share. Please also consider becoming a foster. We really need them.
Can you repeat the date and location, please?
December 13th at Nānākuli-Library in the parking lot. And the vets start around 8 a.m., but please do come early. It is pretty much first come, first serve. It is through Aloha Animal Outreach, so if there is any questions, you can also reach out to them directly on Facebook and Instagram.
Any further community concerns? Please approach the mic and state your name.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Amanda Mahelona. Sorry. Aloha Chair, members of the Nānākuli Neighborhood Board. My name is Amanda, and I'm here today as a mother and a community member, and as an advocate for our keiki. Some of you may have known, but on October 28th, our daughter Tea was taken from us. That should have never happened. She was 19 and a recent graduate of Nānākuli in class of 2024. My daughter, she was a hard worker, and she was on her way to work at Starbucks, very independent, and she was catching a bus with another fellow pedestrian as they were waiting to cross the street. Her death should not be another statistic. It should be a turning point in our community. Shortly after, I would go out there in the early mornings just to kind of see what traffic's like around that time, right before 5 o'clock. And I'll be very honest, I was really taken back because there is not that much traffic at that time. Unfortunately, not all, but some of the community treats Farrington Highway like a freeway because there's no one to check them. No family should ever have to experience what we're living through. I'm asking this board and our elected leaders and the community to help make sure what happened to Taya never happens to another. My request is to have stronger safety measures. The crosswalks are not lit. I don't know if this is a possibility, but I do know I frequent Ko'olina. They have lit crosswalks that light up the roads before they are crossing. So it warns a driver that someone is about to cross, not crossing now, but about to cross. We have red light cameras in town, but Farrington Highway is one of the ones that have the most accidents. I would want to request something along those measures. There's no school zone, and I understand that's a private charter school, a private school commitment, preschools, but there's no signage for speed limit for school zone. I'm not sure if that's something that the schools have to push forward or if that's something the Department of Transportation, but I would like to see that also enforced. There's a sign for 30 miles per hour right when you pass Helelua, and the next one is when you pass Nānākuli Avenue. I don't know if everyone's educated, but most school zones are lowered in the speed zone area. I love that I see the signs up Nānākuli Avenue telling you your speed, and it kind of forces us to check ourselves. My daughter lived with so much purpose. She was working part-time barista. She was also attending flight school to be a pilot. I do see the police officers out there parked at Kavaihona due to the contraflow, but really, when I'm out there waving, they're going way past the speed limit. I just ask that you guys, I know there's proper procedure and protocol to take place, but I would like to have that escalated and a follow-up. Thank you for your time. Mahalo.
Thank you. Our deepest condolences to you and your ohana during this time. We will be there to support your memorial coming up. Any further community concerns? Johnny May Perry online, please unmute.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to share with Amanda in today's paper, Section 8A10. It's entitled Traffic Victim Was Role Model, Enact Better Laws. There was an article in the editorial which I submitted, and it is printed in today's paper, and it talks about the incidents and possible solutions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to our officials' monthly reports. The governor's representative is not available for today. So we will move to State Senator Samantha DeCourt's representative.
Oh, excuse me, the chair.
Oh,
Oh,
aloha. Oh, we do have
aloha.
someone. I apologize. Online.
Hi, this is Richard Kim, the Plant Industry Administrator, attending on behalf of Chair Hurd from the Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity. Aloha Chair Augustine and then members of the board and community, and mahalo for the opportunity to provide a brief update on our effort to try to control coconut rhinus beetles and also the tree removals in this district. And coconut rhinus beetle remains one of the Hawaii's most damaging invasive species. West Oahu continued to experience active pressure, beetle pressure, and Hawaii Department of Agriculture crews and also the contractors have been conducting tree treatment and removing CLB damaged palm trees across the Nānākuli and Māʻili area. We do not have any new treatment or removals in this district since the last meeting. Of the 175 trees removed on Oahu to date, and 53 were removed within the Nānākuli and Māʻili area since May 2005. And we continue to respond to the resident report as they come in. So our current priority in Oahu include reducing the public safety risk by removing damaged coconut, damaged the palm trees and also unstable palms, and protecting high-use public areas through crown sprays and trunk injections on public lands, and improving green waste management, which is still remaining essential because unmanaged palm waste is one of the primary breeding sites for CLB. The Hawaii Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity is finalizing a contract with a commercial fumigation company to treat the confirmed or highly suspected breeding site. In addition to this treatment, we are providing funding support to the city and county for green waste management activities, such as just waiving tipping fee and hauling infested material to composting facilities and community education and outreach. How the community can help our effort is residents are encouraged to report any suspect CLB damage, such as V-shaped cuts on palm tree, and please call 643-PEST. And once we got those report, and we can take care of those issues. Mahalo again for your partnership, and Hawaii Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity will continue providing updated maps and reports and remains available to assist any resident or community groups in Nānākuli and Māʻili area with CLB concerns. As requested under Act 236, our department will launch a live pest dashboard by December 1, which will include a real-time update on CLB treatment and tree removal as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any questions from the community for the governor's rep?
안녕하세요, Mr. Kim. 피키추입니다. 만나서 반갑습니다. How are you today?
Thank you so much. Your
Good to
Korean
see
is
you.
very,
Can you tell
very
Auntie
good.
Sharon heard? So, we got legislation session coming up. And I know food policy, self-sustainability is going to be a hot issue. So I want to start drafting legislation like how we did with SB 1249. We have Salcedo's in the House for Department of Agriculture. Even though we're Republican-led, we know we need Senator Tim Richards, Senator Mike Gabbard to champion the bill for food sustainability, community stewardship. And I already drafted a bill, ironically, today. So can I email you guys and tell Auntie Sharon Heard if we can work on this together?
Yes,
Thank you very
please.
much.
Thank you so much.
감사합니다.
Thank you. Any further questions from the community or the governor's rep? Online? Okay. Seeing none, any questions from the board? Board Member Manoa, Board Member Myers.
Hi, Richard. I was just wondering if, because for several months already, as you and Sharon represent the governor to present his message, is there anything else that you would be presenting besides CRB information?
Currently, I only have the information about CLB treatment and tree removal at this point. But I think that if there's any the other messages coming out of the governor's office, and we can just follow up.
I think it would be great for us to hear maybe summaries of his report and other things besides the CRB. So if you'll be attending or if Sharon will be attending, if she can also prioritize other items on the governor's report other than CRB. We appreciate that CRB information is coming out to us, but as we look at the governor's message, there's more information on there that should be shared at this meeting. Thank you.
Okay, I'll deliver the message to our chair, Hurd. Thank you so much.
Board Member Myers.
Mahalo, Chair. First of all, Amanda, I just wanted to let you know I'm the chair of the Transportation Committee, and I'll make sure to work on those issues that you're talking about. And I'll start first with the governor. So governor's rep, Nānākuli, I'm not sure if you heard about the accident in front of Kavaihona, but a young lady had died there, Tea Mahelona, and it's in a school zone area. So I'm asking you, and I'll put together a letter with all the facts. Waianae, in front of Waianae High School and Kamaile Elementary on Farrington Highway, there's speed bumps over there. There's speed tables to slow people down because of the keiki. In Nānākuli, there's none on Farrington Highway for keiki to cross the street or to go to the park. In the past, this board has asked for overpass, for pedestrian overpass to go over Farrington Highway to take children from Nānākuli Avenue into the park or to go to the school. So there's multiple things that we need. And what I'm asking you is, since the governor appoints the leaders to the Department of Transportation, which takes care of Farrington Highway, the Department of Education, which handles keiki. So Nani Ikapono L, the children come out, they come right past this library, and then they go on Farrington Highway. They gotta cross the street in order to catch the bus. They heading towards like Zablan or that area or outside of Nānākuli. They have to cross the street, Farrington Highway. And then DHHL actually owns Kavaihona, the land under Kavaihona, and the Nānākuli Village. And so, and all of the homestead area along Farrington Highway, they used to own the park, but they dedicated it to the city so that they can manage it. So DOT, DOE, and DHHL, since the governor appoints those leaders, I'm asking you that he creates a solution and he gives us his commitment that he will do something about Farrington Highway between Kavaihona and Nānākuli, Village, but also between Nānākuli Park for those that are going up to the homestead, or Haleakala and for those that are crossing over. So as I've done in the past, I've sent Sharon. Unfortunately, sometimes she didn't show up for the next couple of months, but I'm hoping that when I send you the email that I'm going to copy all of our board members, and if you guys can get back to us within a reasonable time to share with us how these leadership is going to engage with our community to make our community keikis safe when they cross Farrington Highway. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you both. I'm sorry I cannot on behalf of other department, but I'll deliver the message to Chair Hurd, and then Chair Hurd can transfer those messages to the governors as well. Thank you so much, your concern.
Thank you. Any further questions from the board for the governor's rep? Seeing none, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate the update.
Thank you so much, Chair.
Next on the agenda, we have State Senator Samantha DeCourt's representative.
Aloha, Chair Augustine, members of the board. My name is Lavinia Kafa on behalf of Senator Samantha D. Court's office. Mahalo for having me. I do want to just mention her apologies as she's not able to attend in person and is currently traveling. I would also like to mahalo the chair for your moment of silence to all who are impacted by recent deaths, to Mrs. Mahelona and to Uncle Black's Ohana as well. I did want to acknowledge Pastor Tala and just say in agreement to be absent in the body is to be present with the Lord. I'm just going to go ahead and mention a few of the questions that were addressed to Senator DeCourt last month. I don't see Eleanor, but I'm just going to go ahead and read off her questions. She inquired about Senator De La Cruz's request for $30 million more to make a central food hub for the DOE. How far along is that project? How in place is that project? Because if all the schools have to get their food from that kitchen, what happens if Farrington Highway gets closed down? What happens to all our schools? How do they get fed? Plus, you have to retrofit all these kitchens to accommodate this new way of serving food. So we did reach out to DOE and we haven't received a response yet. But I do know that they did break down last Friday on the 14th. And to Johnny May, what's the status on the DHO audit? I do recall, Senator, responding to your question at the neighborhood board meeting number 24. So I'm just going to reiterate that she did introduce that legislation. Unfortunately, it wasn't heard, so she'll have to reintroduce it next legislative session. And speaking of next legislative session, if the community has any, measures, resolutions, bills that they would like to bring forth to our office, we are more than welcome to accept them. Yes, Pikachu, thank you so much for working with us last year. And I did also want to note Mrs. Mahelona's comments with public safety, and Johnny Mays as well with her solutions, as she mentioned with the article. If you have any questions for Senator Court, I'll note it and I'll take it back to her. We'll have the response ready for you next neighborhood board meeting. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you so much, Nia, for your report. Any questions from the community for Senator DeCourt's office? Please approach the mic, state your name.
I just want to know if Senator DeCorte has any plan for the homeless to where we can relocate them, because I can't take them all.
Mahalo, Sabrina, for the question. I will redirect your question to Senator DeCourt when I have that response for you. But I did want to mention that currently the timeline for those who are residing at the boat harbor is to be out by November 27th.
Any further questions for Senator DeCourt's representative? Seeing none, any questions from the board? Board Member Myers, Board Member Tector.
Aloha, Nia. Did you hear the questions that I asked to the governor's rep? I mean, the issue that I brought up with the governor's rep. If you can have that in Senator. So when I send Sharon the email and copy all the board members, I'll also copy Senator and also Representative Kila. He's not coming tonight, but I'm hoping that you guys can stay engaged in the issue until we can get resolutions. Yeah.
Noted, mahalo.
And then we can report back to the community. Mahalo.
Hi, thank you for being here. I visited Vegas, and if you guys remember the incident when pedestrians got rammed by a truck, and since then they had put pillars, the circumference is approximately 12 by 12, and it's metal, and it's like 8 within each intersection or crosswalk. I mean, if this is what's needed, if you could work with city and county, my proposal, I mean, whether it's just a suggestion because we need to pass it by the board, but we need action to save more people. And those pillars, it's easy. You see metal bars, but it's put in front restaurants when vehicles have gone through. In Hawaii, it's not so far-fetched, but here we need to protect Farrington Highway already. And so to add to that, if it's the lighting, the functioning of the lights, the traffic lights, because it works and then it doesn't work. So we definitely need that in ASAP, and 25-mile zone in school. I drove to Hawaii Kai. Hawaii Kai has those speed bumps. We're not asking for speed bump at every intersection because of first responders, but we need to get some sort of action immediately. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions from the board? One community question.
Aloha, Malia. Kalei Sausero. You know, just this past, what was it, Saturday? Just this past Saturday, at my nephew Iroati's funeral at St. Rita's, Nānākuli. Always having his services, you know, the freeway, it's just a regular highway. Problem we have in our community is they're treating them like it's a H1 freeway. While we having the services and everything, there was an accident. You know, I mean, it was bad. When the HPD and then people was trying to assist, that was at the funeral services, I was disappointed to see people in our community when he's stopping the traffic and you get one fire chief coming off the truck, he almost got whacked. There's this other driver that's coming from westbound, going to downtown, continues pushing that guy. And he's already registered to turn around and help and work with HPD or for the help divert directions. But that individual in that vehicle was still pushing him with his vehicle. And yet he was trying to stop him so he wouldn't continue banging or hurting anyone. So that's a big problem and big issue that we have on our highways. So wanted to see if the senator can come up with something, because it's not going to stop if we're going to allow people in our community driving reckless, especially when they're being divert, and telling him for stop so he can access, emergency assisted. He cannot. But yet the vehicle, we got to remember, that is a weapon. And you pushing someone that worked with HPD with your vehicle. So we need to address that or educate the community or the knuckleheads more to educate them. So, we get too much knuckleheads, but we got to work with them, yeah?
Yeah, put that in perspective. To piggyback on what my wife has said, actually, I was the first responders to the guy in the vehicle who rear-ended that SUV. I asked him, "Can you breathe?" "Yes." How's your chest? Is it painful? No. Okay, so that's the problem. Had more people came in to control the traffic. But the problem is we have a traffic light, Nānākuli Avenue, and after St. Rita's by Zablan, you have a speed hump. What is slowing the traffic? To slow the traffic down, solution is our HPD needs to work with our state law enforcement who has the people, the staffing, the sheriff's department to patrol our state highways. This is state. So need to collaborate and jointly have a MOA, MOU in place. They should have had that already. But we gotta, you know what it is? It's the pay. The sheriffs get less paid than HPD. We gotta boost up the sheriff's morale by giving them equal pay for equal work as they assist HPD. That's the solution. Because HPD does have the funding, but they don't have the manning. That's the solution. And just put them on the highway to control the traffic. Just appearance of the law enforcement on the highway itself will slow down those who are distracted driving. Because I witnessed the impact on this accident. And yet, during a funeral, that was crazy.
Thank you. Okay. Last question from community.
Aloha, Pikachu, Shelby Benner. So I want to offer a solution because from Senator the Court's office, being a senator, she can write unlimited bills. So even though Darius Keel is coming up, he's in charge of DOT. So how it works with SB 1249 for Duke Pia's law to honor the family, because I didn't personally know Duke, but we can remember her and your family member for what she is and what she's, sacrificed for. So with Senator the Court's abilities, she can write unlimited bills. We can draft something, and Darius would be in charge of DOT, and he would be if he can champion your bill, we can probably push this through with Carl Rhodes. Because if the Republican try to champion the bill alone and doesn't have a deed next to them, it always gets stopped within 2 weeks. But Darius is a Democrat. He's not a Republican, even though it's bipartisan. So we can do something to help honor your family member. Thank you.
Thank you. So Senator DeCourt is on the Education Committee, and I'd like to entertain the idea to have guardrails that are on next to schools that are on highways. And this was a pedestrian fatality, and having cars riding that fast next to the school, they have a fence outside, but really it could have gone into the school for all we know. So we need something even more for the safety of our schools. So just putting out a bigger ask that all schools on highways have a guardrail on the road to prevent accidents from entering the school campus. Thank you.
Mahalo, Chair, board members.
Okay, moving on. Representative Keela will not be joining us this evening. He did provide a written report. And so I will just read the primary topics. And if anyone here has questions regarding these topics, you can approach the mic and ask them. There will be no response this evening, but Representative Keela can contact you with the response. So we have the governor's recent letter on Army training lands and community voice. The Department of Transportation update, Farrington Highway traffic signal timing. And the Department of Education e-bike and electric motorcycle safety rules, fire marshal presentation and community town hall. The town hall will be tomorrow, November 19th. Here at the Nānākuli Public Library at 7 p.m. Okay, any question for Representative Keela? Please approach your mic, state your name.
Aloha, Pikachu, Shelby Billionaire. Just for official record, is Darius Keela willing to champion up a bill to do what, honor our family members so we can put it through? Because he would have to be the one to officially champion it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions from community? Any questions from the board for Representative Keela? Okay, seeing none. Thank you so much. Moving on to Department of Hawaiian Homelands, Representative Diamond Badajos. Not present. Next on our agenda, Office of Hawaiian Affairs, Representative. None present. Mayor Rick Bangiardi's report will be read by our NCO, Jeff.
Okay. So for this one's highlights from the mayor's newsletter, the Skyline Segment 2 opens for service, adding 5 miles and 4 new stations, including Pearl Harbor and the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport. The city's early education center relocates as multi-year repairs begin for the municipal parking structure, and new sewer rates go into effect January 1st, 2026 for Oahu residents. The Royal Hawaiian Band holds a free concert at the Blaisdell. Join us on Friday, November 28th for the Royal Hawaiian Band's free concert at the Neil S. Blaisdell Concert Hall, 7:00 p.m. This non-ticketed event is free and open to the public. Doors to the Blaisdell Concert Hall will open at 6 p.m. Seating is on a first-come, first-served basis. The concert features a lineup of acclaimed Hawaii artists, including Grammy-nominated 21-time Nahoku Hano Hano Award winner Henny Kapono, 2-time Grammy nominee and multiple Nahoku Hano Hano Award recipient Raiatea Helm, the Kamehameha School's Children's Chorus, and other special guests. The city will also illuminate Thomas Square Park for concert goers to enjoy before and after the performance. Honolulu City Lights begins the following evening, November 29th, with the traditional tree lighting ceremony at Honolulu Hale, followed by the Public Workers Electric Light Parade down King Street. And there's a new system for electronic press releases. The City and County of Honolulu has updated our press release distribution system to make it easier for Oahu residents and members of the public to sign up and receive these important updates. As of November 5th, 2025, subscribers will start receiving press releases in their inbox through the new system. To sign up for City and County Honolulu press releases, visit honolulu.gov/mayor/newsletter-sign up. For the department issue follow-ups from last month, there was a question regarding roadway striping regarding Pākea Road. DTS, the Department of Transportation Services, stated Pākea Road is under various jurisdictions. As such, can the limits of the area of concern be clarified? The second was St. John's Road speed mitigation. It was requested that speed humps be installed along St. John's Road to decrease speeding. DTS last responded agreeing to conduct an investigation, including a review of the area's traffic collision history, a site inspection, and traffic survey. DTS replied, the Department of Transportation Services completed their investigation regarding the speeding concern on St. John's Road, which included a review of the area's traffic collision history, a speed survey, and a site inspection. The DTS review of the area's traffic collision history did not find any trends related to speeding in the past 3 years, and their site inspection did not find any unusual conditions. However, their speed survey found that speeding is occurring in both directions along St. John's Road. As such, DTS will consider installing speed bumps on St. John's Road between Farrington Highway and Kulaʻopuni Street, probably said that incorrectly, if a petition of the affected residents in the area with a goal of 90% concurrence is submitted to DTS via the Nānākuli-Māʻili Neighborhood Board. While support of the residents and neighborhood board does not guarantee that the requested changes will be implemented, DTS finds it the best forum for residents to express their viewpoints regarding neighborhood matters. A petition form will be provided upon request. In addition, DTS will request the assistance of the Honolulu Police Department to monitor the area for speeding violations and to consider placing speed feedback trailers to caution motorists of their speed. And that's the end of the report.
Thank you. Any questions for the mayor to be addressed only online with no answer? I would like to make note that we have not had a representative present for our board for about 6 months now. And I'd like to request that the mayor's rep be established within the next 2 to 3 meetings so that we can have our concerns addressed at the Nānākuli-Māʻili Neighborhood Board. Okay, moving forward to Councilmember Andrea Tupola's representatives.
Point of privilege, Chair.
Okay.
Point of privilege.
Point of privilege granted.
Thank you, Chair. So before Councilmember Tupola's staff comes up and give a report, I just want to make sure to, there's a lot of contentious situations that happened recently with the beach cleanup. I just want to remind our community when they come up to address Councilmember Tupola, she's not here and we elected her. And Kika and Jeannie live in our community. They are just staff members of Councilmember Tupola. And I have taken out my frustration on them in the past, which I have to apologize for, because the frustration level gets really high with no response every month. But I just want to remind everyone that they are staff members. They're not the elected official. So if we can please address them kindly. Of course, be very transparent about your concerns. I'm not telling anybody to hold back, but do not use derogatory words or anything of that nature. But do express what you have to express as needed. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chair and board members. Thank you, Board Member Myers, for that. And just thank you, community, for your guys' transparency and always opening up to. That's what these are all for, right? And that's why we're here. I want to address first. I think Johnny May had some questions the last neighborhood board. So we only got response back from the E&V director. So I'm going to address his answers to the questions. And there was 3 major projects that Johnny May had asked. And the first one was Leeward Refuse Collection Base Yard and Convenience Center for the Leeward Base Yard. His response is the project has been completed as of September 30th this year. The remaining work includes addressing the punch list items. So they're doing recycle water flushing by Board of Water, and they're installing R1 meters. So once all of that is done and they're going through DOH to do the testing before use, that would be about February 2026. So that's all that's left that they're doing for the Leeward Base Yard Convenience Center. The second question was Luluele Refuse and Recycling Convenience Center. Due to the existing Waianae Convenience Center and the opening of Kapolei Center, this project was put on hold to see the efforts of both opening the Kapolei Convenience Center and the installation of cameras at the convenience centers. So the closure has been reduced and slowdowns due to full metal bins are being addressed. So the metal bins are being addressed first before they can continue with the recycling convenience center. The Oahu Sanitary Landfill. The Oahu Sanitary Landfill project is ongoing with the recent passing of Act 73 and Act 255 by the legislator. E&V has to perform additional technical research to identify the location of the next landfill. Once the site is identified and accepted, the land acquisition and planning and design phases can commence among the future tasks. I think that's a huge topic. It was a big topic also at the other neighborhood board, but we'll go into other details. And I know that Board Member Myers had also asked for a town hall. So our team is looking to plan town halls for that and also your transportation information as well. Other than that, that's the only updates I got for the questions from last meeting. I do have Jeannie here. She's our staff member as well. She works alongside me through the community. We are actually hands-on, 10 toes down in the community, trying to just be there for everybody. Of course, Board Member Myers said we live here, so we know and we understand. So we live and breathe everything that everyone's going through. So the what was passed out to you, and this will also address kind of people's questions about what R3 does for our homeless. We started R3 back in 2022, and I feel like we always talk about this all the time here and there, and we give slight updates. But these are cohorts from the very first, so our cohort 1 to our cohort 6. We just did cohort 7, which was the Ulehava cleanup that we just had. This is just data. It was data that was collected throughout the time. It's numbers of who we spoke to, lessons learned that we learned through what we had to learn through the process of what is the red tape, what is the step-by-step stuff we needed to do, how many people we worked with, their names, their story, everything. So it's just data, but Jeannie and I walk through the trenches with these people, and I feel like I always get emotional about this because we spend hours out there, even after our job, even after, we don't even have to do this for the city. We do this because we live here. And, you know, we work for Andrea, and this was her idea. We're just the people who are here to make it happen. And this is the answer to everyone else. And I don't like to get emotional, but I get emotional because this is my home. This is Andrea's home. This is Jeannie's home. This is your guys' home. The cleanup was not easy at all. And I just want to thank Sabrina for taking on the 23 people. What we want to address is that we want people to take people. We're looking for those types of people to come out in the community and help. There's so many resources out there that we are also trying to learn what those resources do. There's so many stuff that we're trying to learn, and we also see that, oh, these resources aren't working. We literally just learned this cohort, and we literally did this from 2022. This cohort made us remember and remind us that mental health was the biggest issue. We don't have enough resources for that. Literally, we went out just before, 2 weeks before we did the city did the SPO. We went out there and we spent literally from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. trying to connect doctors with these people, tried to sit with them and see, like, we're not here to convince you guys. We're trying to help you guys to help yourselves. You cannot do it. You guys gotta meet us halfway. So we're very passionate about this, and it saddens us to think that there's a misunderstanding. So sorry, super emotional about it, but I'm pretty sure that, I just want to show our gratefulness to the community, to the board. I have to say, in Nānākuli, you guys are sharp, and we're so grateful for everything you guys do. You guys show so much advocacy for our community and for the people of Nānākuli. I live in Nānākuli, so I'm so proud, but I am a sea rider. But I'm super proud to be from here and to have people and to work in the community that I am and in the place that we are. We believe in Andrea and everything that she does, and we stand here to represent her and represent you guys. But I also want to address before we end, we did write a letter to DOT and DTS. So they're both the directors, Director Roger Morton and Director Sniffen, requesting for speed humps here. And this is to address to the tail accident and the accident that happened. But we asked for speed humps, for traffic light cameras, and also to kind of switch the traffic button, because of the safety of where it is. So those are the three things we addressed on the letter. We can address more, and we can help on the city side. So we already sent that letter, and we'll copy the board in as well. The senator and Representative Keela is also in that letter and the email, but we're open for questions.
Thank you. Questions from community, please approach the mic and address the chair.
Aloha, Pikachu, Shelby Benner. So Chair, I have a solution. That's why I'm glad we have them here who are on the streets, who are from the west side, 96792 in the house, because we might have to talk street style just to get this stuff done. And I'm thank you for acknowledging Sabrina Grace, because we felt really disheartened where we couldn't even say for 1 minute during the Housing Homeless Chair Committee, because it's not on the agenda for Sunshine Law. That really broke our hearts, that we couldn't even say the good work that we're doing for Nānākuli. But it looks like we do have some support. I'm not sure if we can stop the sweep on the 27th, but here it's me, how Samantha the court says the math ain't mathing. If Twinkle's property can only take 40 individual people, to me it's simple. You can use the tents and house it. I'm not having multi-million dollars. I have no idea where the construction money went. I know Andrew knows better with James and their nonprofits. I have no clue. But if Sabrina can do it and take 23, and let's say there's 200 people minimum at the boat harbor, that's 160 plus extra. She can't take 160. So can Andrea work on a solution with the community? That's what I want to ask. Thank you.
I'm a sea rider too, 1975, but I live in Nānākuli. I see you two guys out there doing work. Andrea knew. My brother is one of her biggest supporters, Andrew Tupola. Andrea knew that the Graces was dedicating land for the homeless. We've been doing this when my mother was alive. But we decided, my siblings and I, that we're going to do this full on after she passed away. Okay? So since 2022, we've been doing it. Andrea knew that we was doing it. We was telling her the success and how we was accomplishing and all the gems that we have now. So my question is, what is your plan? We cannot continue. Sweep them here, sweep them there, especially 1:30 in the morning. Sweep them. They're not going to evaporate. They're not going to disappear. No more big enough rocks for them to hide under. So what is the plan? That's all I like to know from her. What is the plan? Where we going to put the poor people and where we going to put the elderly people? If my family and I, with our companies, Paradise Low and Pinky Toes, can successfully do it with 53 people, and they're still with us, and now we get 23 more people, I expect my leaders to be able to do it way better than me. That's my question. That's my frustration.
Just want to thank you for you guys' time tonight. Really important. How can I do this really fast? I'm all about positive and supporting people that help out with our homeless community. And with that, I just want to thank you, Sabrina. I know what you're doing with a lot of people, and I think you really need help and support on that, for taking in those kupuna and some of the mental illness. And also, I commend that, that was really awesome when I heard about it. And I think our support for all, any of our representative, since I moved to YNI. And to realize that I like the positive things that happen, when we do this cleanup to purify our land. Our beaches. Now I see a lot of our community families and their children are going in, and fishing now in these areas, and this is my concern. If, because I deal with our homeless community in Māʻili, Beach Park, because we have meeting there. And first of the amount of people was there, I make sure to tell them that they need to live clean. If they learn how to keep their area clean, then I don't think there's going to be a problem. So that area is really clean. If you go check out that homeless community there, it's really clean because we on it. And now there's a lot of, I've been calling up Antria, there's a lot of tent now is moving there, which is the only park that our children have practice on them, on that. And they still keep it clean. I just want to commend you guys' team. I've been in this cleanup for a long time now. Sometimes I'm tired to go and clean up because we're picking up a lot of, and you guys are doing a lot of cleanup too. It's really hard. It's really hard. It's not that, it's an emergency thing. We actually, I believe that, everybody get a certain amount of months to let them know that there is a cleanup because when you guys pass by all the time, it really hurts my heart because of all the rubbish, and that's the problem is the eyesore of rubbish, and that's what we try to do is clean the rubbish, but also I really, looking forward to see where this help gonna come from for our homeless community because I used to be homeless. I used to be out there, but now somebody when offer me a help, now my life's changed today, and also, I'm helping a lot of families too that we bring out, in our ministry. We are a nonprofit, but actually we don't take any money from the state or the government. We actually, we self-sustain from, we have our own business, to do that, and we're working with families, transform and giving them skill. We're teaching them skill, and that's what works.
Thank you.
A vocational, training that we do for them. And I hope that, the state and some representative can come and learn from us what we're doing, so because we're not only making them sober, but we're giving them the skill, for them to work and get back to community and be able to pay their rent. And we are in 100% successful in that.
Thank you so much.
And so I just want to thank you guys. This coming Sunday at 1 o'clock, we need help to move our homeless community at the harbor up to the land. Pastor Allen just went call me. We need all the help to help our homeless to move up in that place. Thank you very much.
Johnny May online.
Thank you, Chair Johnny May Perry. Thank you for reporting back for Councilmember Tupola. I really appreciate all that you do way and beyond. I wish you a happy Thanksgiving and thank you so much.
Thank you. Any further questions from community? Okay. Questions from the board for Council Member Tupola, Board Member Myers, Board Member Hano, Board Member Tector.
On behalf of the Housing Zoning Committee, which includes homelessness, I want to thank you guys for the cleanup. And I did see the videos, and I did see that you and Jeannie were involved at the cleanup. So I just really want to thank you for putting in extra labor and being out there in the hot sun and all the elements, because it's not something that I volunteered to do. Thank you for this report. And I'm going to take some time to assimilate the information and then on potential next steps. So I appreciate this report because data is very important. I saw a video online, and I'm going to keep it really short with this, and I feel that Councilmember Tupola owes Sabrina Grace an apology. So I would like to find out how she's going to retract what the statements that she made. You know, I can see that something was triggering. I don't know what it was. I mean, I know what it was, but what was being stated, but how that turned into, homeless shaming comments was very, very hard to deal with. But also, why Sabrina's name got involved in the Lynette Cruz, posting from Councilmember Tupola. So I just want to ask her I'll send in an email with that stuff, because I know you guys had emailed us her statement, but my statement is I feel that our community member is owed an apology because she wasn't involved except to try to take the homeless people for shelter at her home. Yeah, and so there's many solutions that need to be taken, and I think that if Councilmember Tupola can come to our housing committee meeting, and then we can cook up, because I've invited you guys many times, and I think that's where my frustration comes from. I invite for transportation and housing because most of the work gets done there in talking about the issue, because we can talk longer than we can talk here on the board. And so I'm hoping that you guys would make time to come. We've committed to first Thursday of the month, 6:30 to 8 o'clock would be transportation, and 8 o'clock to 9:30 would be the housing. And Kika, you're not the only staff member there. That's why I had asked you guys how many staff members are there. There's 6 of you guys plus Councilwoman, and you shouldn't be the only one that comes to our committee, to make it up. So I'm hoping that, and please convey that to Councilmember. Mahalo.
Thank you. Board Member Hano.
Hi, I just want to thank, all you guys, all the city workers. The day you guys were doing that cleanup, it's incredible. There were like dump trucks and bins and long story short, I mean, after passing it with all those people, and this morning I passed it and I looked at it, the land looks healing. I see the trees. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. So thank you. I know it's a hard task, but thank you for doing that.
Board Member Tector.
Yeah, so my question is, people that actually take homeless into their either premises or a facility, what is the, I guess, the ramification of it? For example, I take my brother in, I take him to the welfare office. I'm basically overseeing him on a medical level, but what he gets is attached to my income. So, and then mental health, I make sure he goes to the doctor, whether I drive him or not. And there is a cleanliness issue. So appreciate what you guys do. That's awesome, because it is, you have to be skilled. And again, I've mentioned that. So people that actually do help, they're going to get welfare assistance. So for how long will it impact theirs? Will my income impact theirs? And that's what it means. And then the ones that lost their homes, we need to address the renters that don't live here in the islands. The slumlords, We need to address that. And if they're given an opportunity, military, they buy the house, they get outbidded by local people. So local people are approved for a loan, but because it's guarantee money from the federal, they get outbidded. So a lot of our people don't have that opportunity and that chance. So all of these things need to be addressed. And as far as the drugs, it's still being brought in. How? We all know, through the cars, shipping, mules, whatever. But these are the higher echelon problems that need to be answered before they get on the beaches. Appreciate the cleanup because the taxpayers got to see that in and out. And I have to share with my brother, mental check. I got to sacrifice things in order for me to keep my house, my mortgage. So we do. There's education. You got to rehabilitate these people. And we're seeing the same issue. I attended boards, but this is like 30 years now. And it's the same. So we got to help them understand what's the real problem, systemic. Yeah, so what other organizations or not that are sanctioned or not, and how do we get help if we help them? So if you can take that to Tupola, thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions from the board? Seeing none. If there was a number one reason why people turn away assistance from you folks who are houseless, what would that be?
So honestly, from our conversations with a lot of them, I mean, when we listen to their stories, they either they'll be upfront with us for real, that they just want to do what they want to do. They don't like the rules. A lot of them, the first question we ask is, do you have family here? How can we connect you back with your family? That's the first thing, actually, because a lot of them need support from their family. We cannot put them in a home if they are on their own because they need the help mentally and they need the support. So that's the first thing we ask. Most of the time, they just want to do what they want to do. And we try to give them the time during that R3 program. We go out there and we talk with them to not convince them, but encourage them that you can change. It takes a little bit, but yeah, it's just they want to do what they want to do. Everybody has the free agency to do what they got to do.
So when there's individuals who are Native Hawaiian, who are houseless, who are approaching their residents in the essence as a Native, Kanaka Maoli, what is the solution that Councilmember Tupola or something that we can focus on in helping those specific demographic groups? Because I think there's a little bit of confusion around, Ku'aina, this is our land. They feel the right to be a resident there based on their blood and their culture. And so I'm just wondering, how do you approach those specific groups? And do they have authority to stay there as a Native Hawaiian?
So if you look in the data, that is actually some of the data we did collect. It is another question we ask if they're Native Hawaiian, if they're on the list for homes, how can we research to help them to connect with people? I think that's what we're lacking right now is help for the DHHL people or people who's Native Hawaiian. We need more programs like that for them. I know that when we started collecting it, it was requested for us to keep count of Native Hawaiians. So it is something that we're trying to address, but need more help from people who know resources to connect us to that. We did connect, but it's still something that we're learning through that. But we do have a count of a lot of people who are Native Hawaiian. And honestly, there's not a lot of them that give us the pushback of, this is our land, They just are looking to be housed or go back or see where their place is on the list. I think there was a very few that did, come at
Yeah,
us.
the only reason I ask is because people are stating that they've been there in certain areas 5+ years. And so when houseless have been, they're pretty much, they've made that their home. And so the transition is much harder when they've been stationary for so long. So thank you for taking the comments. And any further questions from the board? Seeing none, thank you. We appreciate your time. Next on our agenda, we have Board of Water Supply, Kathleen Pahinui here in person.
Aloha, Chair and board members. No main breaks to report for the past month in your community. And we do want to let you know if you are interested in what we do to repair a main break, we do have information on our website at boardofwatersupply.com/main breaks. And we also recommend, in order to stay informed when we do have a main break in your community, to please sign up for H&L Alert. It's a really great place to get information, not just about main breaks, but also other things that happen in the community. Any questions?
Any questions from the community for Board of Water Supply? Okay. Any questions from the board for Board of Water Supply? Okay, seeing none, thank you so
Have
much.
a nice,
We appreciate
have a
you
great
coming out in person.
Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving. Okay. Moving on to board business, the approval of September 16th and October 21st regular meeting minutes. At this time, we are going to table our minutes to assure that each member has submitted all of their attendance, as we have not fully received everyone's attendance. October 2025 board member attendance. So we're just going to go over the month of October, and that way it's included and we don't table our future minutes. Thank you.
Okay, so when I call your name, please use your microphone to share what boards or what meetings you have attended in the community or any type of public hearings. Board Member Ayo.
Waianae Kapuna Council meeting on Thursday. Just two of them. That was it.
Thank you. Board Member Tector.
Is this for October or November?
October.
Oh, yeah. Land and Water, went to the PVT landfill, town hall meeting, Rep Kila, and his mattress pickup and drop-off drive.
Thank you. Board Member Kraus.
I went to the PVT tour and the town hall.
Thank you. Board Member Dela Cruz.
October 7, Waianae Neighborhood Board Meeting. October 15, Honolulu Charter Commission. October 21, Nānākuli Board Meeting. October 22, Hawaiian Affairs Committee. October 24, DLNR Board Testimony for Last Fishing Village. October 26, Community Gathering for the Boat Harbor Clearance.
Board Member Myers.
I have to email it to you. Sorry.
Is this for even for October?
October. Yeah. So, I mean, okay, so I went to OHA meetings, but I can't give you dates right now. I went to Town Hall, Rep Kila's Charter, the commission meeting, the one in Waianae with Rep Muoka and Rep Kila, Waianae Neighborhood Board, and I think that's it. Mahalo.
Board Member Manoa.
October 1st, Kawaihona Halavai Hui Makua at the school. October 4th, Rep Kila's e-waste collection. October 7th, Waianae Neighborhood Board meeting. October 14th, Waianae Education Committee and Health and Public Safety Committee meeting. October 15th, Honolulu Charter Commission community meeting here at the library. October 16th, the Nānākuli High School homecoming parade. October 24th, PVT landfill visit. October 25th, although it was in Moanalua, it represented schools out on this side. So the Aha Ika Hula competition, where Kavaihona and Kapolei participated, because we do have some Nānākuli and Māʻili students at Kapolei. And the October 28th, Nānākuli High School SSC unofficial meeting, and then October Chris Morioka's town hall meeting. Thank you.
Jeff, I'd like to add, I forgot. I did attend the NHIS parade, the OHA town hall meeting, and the SCC NHIS. Thank you.
Awesome.
And I'd like to correct mine. I had PVT as well, and then also OHA.
Awesome. All right. Board Member Hanohano?
PVT tour and the charter meeting, the city charter meeting.
Perfect. And Chair Augustine?
October 9th, Land and Water Committee meeting. The PVT landfill site visit, October 24th. The commission meeting, October 15th, and the OHA community meeting. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone, for your commitment and continued participation in community events and hosting your committee meetings. Next on our agenda, we have Christmas on the Avenue, December 13th, 2025, requesting neighborhood board members to assist onboarding and offboarding of shuttle service at 6th Road, Pilila'au Avenue. So a list here has been distributed to board members to volunteer. So we are needing about 3 to 4 people, and community present is welcome to add your names to the volunteer spreadsheet. It's gonna be 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, and 9 to 11. We're asking board members who sign up to please wear your neighborhood board t-shirt and to share with residents attending the event about our neighborhood board meetings. So any further questions or discussion?
Chair,
Board Member Myers.
I'd just like to encourage the board members to, if you volunteer, to bring your spouse or your ohana with you or family members. It shouldn't be just limited to the board members, but since it's the holidays and we're with our families, we should enjoy our families and bring them with us to help us with the, so I'm gonna bring someone, community members, so I'm hoping that everyone also, so that maybe that doesn't stop from volunteering, because it'll be a you and your spouse or you and your ohana. Mahalo.
Mahalo. So the current slot that's still vacant is the 7 to 9 p.m. So anybody interested, please contact the Nānākuli-Māʻili Neighborhood Board, and we will go ahead and add you to our volunteer list, and or meet us at 6th Road on the evening of the event and let us know that you want to volunteer. Thank you so much. Next up, we have the Season of Stars Christmas tree decorating at Kapolei Hale. So our tree will be decorated tomorrow for members who voted to support and raise their hand that they're going to participate. Thank you for bringing decorations with you this evening. We're going to be at Kapolei Hale tomorrow, 2 to 4:30 on Wednesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. So the topic of our theme here is Season of Stars. And I have some, if you can go back to the first one. These are members in our community who have GoFundMes. And so we will be advertising the GoFundMe as a giving tree and be a light to the community So if those of you who are visiting Kapolei and other people within throughout the island who decide to go, they can scan the QR code on our tree and donate. So we have Tea Mahilona, Kamakea Aiea. This is the Nānākuli family who had lost their home due to a fire. So there are 7 displaced at this time. We have Corey Kamaka, who was in a tragic accident on his e-bike, and this is his family. And also the Ahuna family who lost their home in the wildfire in Maʻili, amongst many other people within the community who have faced unfortunate tragedies this year. And so we will also be highlighting members of the community who have been a light, such as Uncle Black Ho'ohuli and other members. And maybe we can bring up former board members as well who have been a light to our community. So thank you so much for participating in our Season of Stars Christmas tree. For the holiday seasons are on us, and we're able to give back to our community in this way. So thank you to all the board members who are contributing to inform the community about these needs. We appreciate you. Any questions or comments? Seeing none. Okay, we're going to move on to committee reports. Transportation Chair, Jermaine Myers.
Thank you, Chair. So tonight, of course, there was discussions about transportation with the Waianae Coast Emergency Access Road. Our next meeting is on the first, it's always on the first Thursday. So if community members would like to come and join and share their mana'o, it's on December 4th, a Thursday, here in this room. So the Transportation Committee meeting meets from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. We welcome everyone. Watch for the agenda. And so on the agenda items, we can take action, but we also include on the agenda community concerns. So if you bring up something during the community concerns, then we can address it at a future meeting. But we still do talk about it. We try to get all the information related to the issue. So we didn't have a meeting this month. Instead, we did the charter in the room. And so I'm just encouraging people to come and share their mana'o. And then we can follow up on that as a committee.
Next, we
Thank you,
have
Chair.
Housing and Zoning Chair, Jermaine Myers.
So regarding the Housing and Zoning Chair, Housing and Zoning Committee, it also includes homelessness. And thank you, Sabrina, you want to bring up something. And so at this coming December 4th, I would like to address that with you before that meeting so I can be specific on the agenda, and then we can kuka. So the board members that are on the committee for housing is Paul Ayu is the vice chair, and then we have Uncle Richard Lanford, and we have Gary Shinsato as members. Board member Valerie also comes, and then consistently, and Pua also comes, Nānākuli Homesteader. So it's really good to have a variety of members of the community to come to say what's happening in your backyard. So in the past, we've had other community members, which eventually led to asking about the cleanup for Uliava. And so we want to continue to have that momentum. I just wanted to report that I had reached out to Rep. Kila for assistance in getting Jun Yang to come to our committee as well and to explain to us what are the solutions that the state is going to be doing within our district. And then also Roy Miyahara. Mr. Yang, and this was 3 months ago, he said that he was going to call me and he never did. I gave him my contact information. So I'm circling back to him. I called Roy Miyahara because I asked him, why would you go to Waianae Kupuna Council, but you have still yet to return my calls? And because we only had one conversation on the phone, and he promised me that we were going to meet in person. So anyway, he's saying that he's not going to be going to the Waianae Kupuna Council meeting because He never asked. No, but he was never asked about it. He was never given, he never was asked to go to the meeting. And he, even though the picture was on it. So I'm just letting you know. So I mean, I have nothing to do with them organizing it. But my thing is that our community elected us, not the Waianae-Kupuna Council. And so we want to work on solutions, come to the people that the community has entrusted, because we're not a hui, you know, we're elected by our community members. And so he reached out to me today. He sent me an email after I called him out about going to Waianae-Kupuna Council, but not coming to our committee. And then he said that he provided dates that he would like to meet with me to take it to the next step. Then we'll come to the committee. So I'm going to look into his schedule and then with my work schedule. Mahalo.
Thank you. Next, we have Education Chair Valerie May Manoa.
Aloha, everyone. I'm glad we have this time to report. It's been, we've had really tight meetings. I wanted to share at this, I share at the start of all of our education committee meetings, and olelo no eau. E lave I ke a'o a malama, a e oe mau ka na'awau kalamai, which means, which means he or she who takes their teaching and applies them increases their knowledge. And so we use this olelo no'eau to give us focus when we're having our meetings. And so for our committee, the purpose of our committee, and I'll just read this: how can we as an education committee provide the pathways or take away barriers for our keiki? And then in our last meeting, we realized too that education doesn't only apply to our keiki. So how do we provide pathways and take away barriers for keiki, ohana, kupuna, and other community members to explore, journey, evolve, and belong and become? One way that I want to share that we've been talking about in our committee meetings to provide the pathways and take away barriers is for all of us to participate in our respective schools, school community council meetings, which in abbreviation is our SSC meetings. So I encourage you to check your respective schools' websites on the dates and the times, because those are listed there by the schools. In regards to what is an SSC or a community council, it is a group of elected representatives from the school community, which includes parents, staff, students, and community members, that advises the school principal on matters affecting school achievement and school improvement. These councils are involved in reviewing school data, setting goals, creating plans like academic and behavioral plans, and sometimes allocating funds to improve student outcomes. The primary purpose is to give stakeholders a greater voice in the school affairs and work collaboratively by improving the educational experience. And that's the definition online. So many of our board members here have started to attend this year's school community council meetings. We have attended so far Nānākuli High School, high and intermediate schools meetings in September and October, where there were new board members who were voted in. I did attend the Kawaihona Governing Board, as they are a charter school, but I also want to invite all of our community to also participate, because more participation will bring greater views that can be shared with our principal and school to better our schools in our neighborhood board area. The last thing I wanted to share about education committee was that the Aha Ika Hula competition that was on October 25th included 5 schools. So besides Kawaihona Okana'awau, Kapolei High School, Mid-Pac Institution, Kahuku High School, and Lahaina High School. Lahaina High School took home 5 awards, which they couldn't hear about because they had to leave the competition early to catch their flight. But I want to encourage all of us in our schools that there are so many events out there in the community that our students can participate in. And so let's be maka'ala and take notice of those events. Education Committee is on the second Thursday here at the library at 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Water and Land Chair Valerie May Manoa.
So with Water and Land, the Olelo no Eau is he ali'i ka'aina, he kawa ke kanaka. The land is chief and man is its servant. So what is our purpose or our question to ourselves in our committee is how can we as a land and water committee ensure that we lokahi and malama ka'aina, which is our kuleana, to keep ka'aina healthy, which in turn will provide a healthy environment for us as Kanaka beyond 7 generations. So as we entertain different organizations and businesses that come into our community, we share this Olelo no Eau because hoping they also embrace the idea that as you bring your services or use our land, that we also want in turn for you to understand how those services should also benefit the people of our community. One of the topics that was discussed this month was the pesticides in Hawaii. So Representative Amy Peruso from District 46, which is the Wahiawa area, has shared with us a resolution that she's going to present in this legislation about placing stronger restrictions on pesticides that you use statewide. And some of the concerns are that when the pesticides are used, that especially the fumigation that are sprayed in the area, that they want to ensure that there's a larger buffer zone around schools and community because of the type of pesticides and chemicals that are within those. And so some of the organizations that are using these pesticides at times are not following the regulations that are mandated already. So as a board, as a committee, we had voted to support the resolution that's going to be presented at legislation this upcoming legislation. We also visited Hawaii. We're still in discussion with them. Hawaii is over by like the entrance of Waihiko, and they are the ones that lay the fiber optic cables into our ocean from shoreline out into the ocean, and those cables go throughout the whole world. That's where we get our internet from. So we do use those services, but they are purchased by Spectrum and other, organizations which we use their services from. So we're still in discussion with Hawaii on some of the things that they're working on. So we just wanted to let the public know about that. Thank you. And we meet also second Thursday, 8 o'clock to 9:30 here at the library. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Next, we have Hawaiian Affairs Chair Mapuana Tector.
Hi, aloha. For Hawaiian Affairs, we didn't meet this month. We will resume December 17th here at the library at 6 o'clock. And we're going to invite, we have been, but just to make sure that DHHL sends a representative as well as OHA. So we'll always keep them on the agenda because if they don't attend the neighborhood board, someone can attend our committee meetings. And nothing else. That's all I have.
Thank you. Park and Recreation Chair James Cowles.
I don't have anything to report, but this month's meeting is canceled. We will reconvene December 30th at 6:30.
Thank you. Public Health and Safety Chair Paul Ayo.
Oh, oh, it's gonna go in the minutes.
In regards to Amanda Mailona, the mother who was here making her presentation, okay, she mentioned one item. That's the best item. Serious. It's the best item to put out there. The crosswalk, both crosswalks. There's two crosswalks there. You guys took a look at it, but there's two crosswalks there. Yeah. Lighted up crosswalks, lights on the crosswalks on both sides, indicating lights. And the lights come on, people are going to cross before they cross. And that's the best thing to have. I've witnessed this up in the mainland, and all you got to do is push the button. The lights come on, people got to stop because all the lights come on. The light turn red, walk across the street. That's how safe you can be with lights. And that works during the day and at night. Okay? We haven't had an accident at night yet, but this was during the day. Okay, so I will, in my public safety chair position, we're going to work with the three that I mentioned, Department of Transportation, City and County of Honolulu, because they run the lights, and the land that's next to it is DHHL. Yeah, those are three separate organizations, three separate people that have control over something right there at that intersection. So I'll be meeting with them. Hopefully they'll attend, but I'll be making phone calls. The last thing but to mention has nothing to do with public safety. This Friday, 9 o'clock in the morning, I believe it is 9, Pastor Allen's church here on Poole Avenue. It's for the girl. The services start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're probably going to go all the way to 5 o'clock in the afternoon for this young girl that passed. I just wanted to make that announcement. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Health and Safety Committee meeting is every last Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. at Kalani Nānākuli Beach Park. Announcements. December 6, 2025, from 5 to 9 p.m. is the Kapolei City Lights Parade and block party at Kapolei Hale. Our tree will be on display in Kapolei Hale throughout the holidays. And so if you are interested in donating, please take some time to go see our tree decorations and support our community. Next is December 13th, 2025, 10 a.m. is the Waianae Christmas Parade. It will start at Waianae Boat Harbor and end at Waianae Mall. Next is the December 13th, 2025, from 4 to 10 p.m. is the annual Christmas on the Avenue and Operation Blue Light Christmas on Nānākuli Avenue. So if your family will be attending, you can bring your keiki to 4th Road for the distribution of presents being handed out by HPD. And that brings good correlation to let our keiki know that our HPD people are not to be feared, but to be thanked for the service that they do. Next on, we have our neighborhood commission office and Toys for Tots. If anybody here would like to donate toys, new and unwrapped, you're welcome to bring it to any of our neighborhood board members who can distribute it back to our NCO, and that will be given out during the holidays. Okay, and one more announcement.
Sorry, Chair, I forgot to let you know. On November 28th in 1842 was when Hawaii received its Hawaii independence. So along with our Thanksgiving celebrations, if we can remember November 28th this year of Laku'oko'a. Okay, mahalo.
Mahalo. And tomorrow is the town hall here in Nānākuli Library with Representative Kila. So, ha'oli la ho'omaikai to all of you. Happy Thanksgiving. And thank you for joining us this evening for the neighborhood board at Nānākuli-Māʻili. Please be safe. More time than money. Take your time getting to each of your locations. And as we do see a rise in traffic accidents during the holidays, so we just wish you all the best. Thank you so much for attending this evening. Our next meeting will be on December 16th, 2025, 7 p.m. here at Nānākuli Public Library and online via WebEx. This meeting is adjourned, 9:45.